Alright, hello, my name is Gavin, and welcome to the first episode of the Funnel Podcast, where we take a lot of information and funnel it into a short podcast episode. Today, I am joined by MashUpArt. So, introduce yourself and tell me one interesting fact about yourself.
Hi, I'm MashUpArt. I do storytime animation on YouTube, and one interesting fact about myself, oh no.
That's an interesting fact. I like that fact.
I'll think about it. I'll get back to you on that one.
Alright, well, the theme of this podcast is dreams, and I've done a little bit of research, meaning I basically searched dreams in Wikipedia and then took some random facts and information. We're going to be talking about it.
Nice. That's how I write all my essays for school.
Anyway, have you had any really weird dreams recently?
There was one where I was in a shopping mall with no windows, and I was there with my mom, and then she turns directly at me, looks me straight in the eyes, and says, "Mashup, wake up, you're dreaming," and except it was my real name, but, you know, that's private, but she's like, "Wake up, you're dreaming," and I was like,
Did you wake up, or did you go into a lucid dream because you actually knew you were dreaming?
So, when I can't lucid dream because I just wake up instead. So I've always kind of wondered what it was like, but I've never lucid dreamed before.
Well, we're going to talk about lucid dreaming a bit later in the podcast.
Oh, that's cool.
So one of mine recently was it was this weird dream where I was like in this bathroom. It was like a standard like prank video with, you know how there used to be the pranks and there'd be like the girl in the white dress and the long black hair and she was like,
yeah, and she was in the elevator.
Yeah, and different stuff. So basically I was in a bathroom and so the lights go out and then I see her and I'm like, okay, well this is a dream. I know that she can't actually physically touch me or anything.
Yeah.
So she comes rushing at me and screaming. I'm still like, I'm just standing my ground. I was like, what are you going to do? You're literally my dream. Yeah. But anyway, once she touches me, I wake up and like I felt it. Like
I've had dreams like that too. One time someone stabbed me and I felt like I had a knife in me when I woke up, and then it immediately faded and I like freaked out, and then I was like, am I cut? Am I okay? And then I was fine and I was just like, It's
just the weird thing about that is usually like you can feel like whatever's happening in the dream.
Yeah.
But the weird thing about this instance was I knew it was a dream, so I knew it wouldn't hurt me, and then it did, which is, it's so weird.
That is strange.
Dreams are literally tricking your own mind. Like, it's literally like a part of your brain tricking your own brain into not knowing that it's in a dream. Like, that's just weird. That's insane.
It's,
Alright. REM sleep, or rapid eye movement sleep, happens a few times during the night and is usually when you have dreams. This is when your mind is most relaxed, and to ensure you don't do what you're doing in the dream in real life, your body goes into a state of paralysis. So basically what happens during REM sleep is like you can't move your body, because if you did, which happens in some cases like sleepwalking.
Oh yeah, there's that one movie about that one guy who would have these really weird dreams, and then he was like sleepwalking, and then it like came to a head when he jumped out of a 2-story window while he was sleeping.
Oh.
Yeah. Cause I think it was Quinn Reviews did a game theory parody where he's like, this guy is actually in Twin Peaks, and that's how I found out about that movie.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, sleepwalking.
Sorry.
No, you're good. So sleepwalking is called somnambulism.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it happens more in children and people that are sleep deprived specifically. And the whole thing where people tell you, don't wake them while they're sleepwalking. It could result in bad things and their mind will go out cuckoo.
Yeah, no one's ever actually said, like, what will go wrong if you do that.
Yeah, so while I was Googling it, they just said, yeah, you should wake them because they'll just do something stupid. It literally doesn't do anything. So I don't know where that rumor came from, if they thought they were being bewitched or whatever back in Salem.
I bet it was, someone was making a movie about it, and then they were like, why don't the main characters just wake him up? And then they're like, oh crap, we gotta explain that so people don't hate our movie. And then they're just like, cause it does the bad things. It does the bad. That's why they can't wake up. Go watch Sleepwalker 1984.
The other really weird thing about it is it's actually genetic.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, sleepwalking. So it's, as I said, it's something called, like, somnambulism. I have no idea what the heck that is, how that's pronounced. I said far.
You Googled it?
Yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, it happens 1 to 15% of the population. We don't really know the exact numbers, I guess.
Damn.
Or 1 in 15. 1 in 15 people.
That's a significant amount of people.
Yeah. And so yeah, it's genetic. Like if your parents were more prone to it, apparently you are. I don't really know how that works, but I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's wild. Maybe it's just like you have a disorder where your REM sleep doesn't work right.
Have you ever had any instances of sleepwalking, or not really that you know of?
No, none that I've been told. There was one time where I dreamed about sitting up and then I did and then I woke up, but I don't know if that was just me waking up or if that was sleepwalking. But I think the most I've ever sleepwalked is like rolling over in my bed.
I think one time
counts.
I think sleptwalked, like if that's even how you say that. But I was like, I guess I just woke up downstairs. Like one of my parents just woke me up downstairs, and I went to sleep in my bed upstairs.
That's weird.
That never happened again. I don't even know what the heck was going on there. But
Now that I think about it, sometimes in the morning when I like stay up really late, I have like vague memories of it. I'll get up out of my bed, turn off my alarm, and get back in bed without waking up. So maybe I've sleptwalked, but that's not like from the dream. That's like a reaction to outside stuff.
I've had times where I just like silence my alarm clock like as soon as I wake up and then go back to sleep and don't remember me doing it. Like I know that's the only explanation because it's not
I've
like
done
my
that
phone
too.
just dies. But
yeah, one time my phone actually like restarted itself in the middle of the night, even though it was at 100% battery, and I was like late, and I was like, no. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to tell you a story about sleepwalking. Like,
Sure.
we definitely got off of it, but, so there was this, story of someone who did it, and they were having problems with sleepwalking, so they were taking pills for it. I don't remember what they're called.
Oh, did they didn't overdose in their sleep, did they?
No, but,
okay, good.
they woke up while they were driving. Like, they just, like, woke up and they were just like, wow, I'm in a car. I'm in my pajamas. And also, they were crying. So...
They just drive to their girlfriend's house while they're sleeping, and they're like, Carla, I can't do this anymore, Carla. And his like eyes are closed the whole time. Like, you're breaking up with me. He's like driving home. He's like, I'm sorry, Carla. It's not you. It's me. He just wakes up in an intersection, and he's like, oh, what even happened? He shows up for like a date that they planned the next day, and she's just like not there. He's like, oh, he like texts her, hey, what's going on? And she's just like, I hate you. And he's like, what happened?
your own self while sleeping just hates you and just like, I know what I can do. I will break up with your girlfriend. And you like actually subconsciously hated your girlfriend the whole time, and you just didn't know. That'd be sad, but like really funny too. Well, like I can't believe that happened. Like how they didn't get in a car.
But
anyway,
yeah, they just woke up driving.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so they
terrifying.
just pull off because it was 3:00 in the morning.
They just so there was no one there.
No. So, but like it's so weird. Like they were just driving and they weren't dead. So they just kind of pulled off and fell asleep. And they went to see a new doctor, and they're just like, no, you can't take these pills. They're just really bad. So apparently she was prescribed something that she really probably shouldn't have been.
Oh, that's not good.
And that was Stacy. I don't know what her last name is.
Oh, well, I guess...
Stacy.
So I guess it was either her boyfriend, or she just... I don't know.
Okay.
I assumed it was a dude.
So sleepwalking is actually combined with something called sleep terrors.
Oh.
And sleep terrors, like, you might think it's like sleep paralysis, but sleep terrors is like when you scream and flail while sleeping. And this also, yeah. So basically, you just like scream and flail while screaming or sleeping, just like sleepwalking.
Yeah. What if you just do that while you're conscious? What's that?
Depression and anxiety. It's called being a teenager in high school.
There it is.
There you go. So speaking of sleep paralysis, transition. Ooh.
I've heard like a couple Storytime animators have done videos about like sleep paralysis where they had an out of body experience and there was like dark shadow with red eyes in the corner that was gonna kill them, and they're like, "Whoa, oh, no!" And I've always like wondered, how does that even happen?
So yeah, it would be terrifying, dude.
Yeah, I've heard that it's like, if you realize that it's happening and you know that that's a thing that can happen, you can just stop thinking about it and it'll go away. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know if that was just a personal thing for that one person or if that's actually true. So
Markiplier also had like a few stories. Like, you know who Markiplier is, right?
Who's that?
Yeah.
I've never heard of Markiplier. Markiplier? Yeah, but
yeah.
Yes.
So he had tons of problems with that. Like, it was happening like monthly, and you said it was mostly anxiety caused, and also sleep deprivation causes that as well.
That poor man.
So,
he's been through so much.
Sleep paralysis is basically you go to sleep and then you wake up where you can't really move. Your eyesight's a little bit weird as well. Yeah. And this happens during REM sleep, so that's why you're paralyzed, is because it's during REM sleep. Your mind wakes up, but your body's still like, I'm still in a dream. I'm going to not allow you to move no more. And because of this state of like paralysis, the human mind just automatically starts thinking of things that could hurt you because you're unable to move.
Oh, that's bad.
So that's basically what happens. But universally, what usually happens is something called the old hag, which is what you're talking about, the guy with the red eyes. So usually they see an old hag in the corner.
That's
just
like a...
smiling. One of them... Go ahead, actually.
Oh, so that's like... So I was just going to ask, like, that's not like just a thing that we saw in the media and then internalized. That's like always been a thing.
Apparently, like, it goes back a lot of years in China. I think it's something called like the old. I think it actually
the old hag. Or
it translates to the old hag. Yeah,
that's crazy.
And it's just like everyone's been. Apparently, that's just a really common sign of it, which is super weird. I don't know what that says about humanity, but
probably that we're all secretly anxious and depressed.
Probably. But anyway, this one guy was talking about something. I don't know if it's happened in multiple instances or just this one guy, but he was sleeping with his wife, and
oh no,
not in that. Well, probably in that sense.
No. I just mean like. Did he see her as like a threat?
No, so like he was sleeping, he wakes up and he can't move, and he looks over and his wife's neck is split, and it like looks like it's literally like bleeding everywhere. He looks down and he sees the old hag with the knife, and it literally has blood, and he's just she's just walking towards him.
Oh no!
But like that would be terrifying, because like that's as realistic as it gets. Your mind instantly thinks, okay, there's someone in here, so obviously they must have killed my wife because they're not helping or doing anything.
Dang!
And it's just like
perks to being lonely every night. You won't see your wife being killed in your night terrors,
but
because you don't have one.
As you were saying, one way to get out of it is if you know it's happening, you're just like, it's not happening, and you can usually trick your mind. But another way is some people, like, they can sometimes feel even a pressure if the hag starts like sitting on them, which is like not in that sense, but like it's just weird. But
sorry. Sorry. I just need to cough sometimes.
No, that's fine.
Post-nasal drip, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, but so basically the other ways of waking up is one, to just go back to sleep, which like your body is telling you that there's this hag, this person in it with a knife in your room, and you're just like, I'll just go back to sleep now.
It's like, well, I mean, I wanted to sleep eternally anyway, so...
And the other way is to just continuously tell yourself that it's not real until it's not real.
Yeah.
There are 4 levels of dreaming, specifically REM sleep, or lucid dreaming. Let me go into lucid dreaming first before I tell you the 4 levels of it.
The one that I've never had, despite my dad telling me, he's like, oh yeah, lucid dreaming's the best, I can like fly and blah blah blah, and I'm like, oh dad, that sounds great. When I go to sleep, I exist in a black void for 8 hours, and then I wake up and go back to my normal life.
That's at least what you remember. Apparently you have tons of dreams, you don't remember them.
Yeah, that's what I've been told as well.
So,
how do you even know that, though? If you don't remember them, how do you know that you don't remember them?
That's just, people have done scans of people's minds while they're sleeping, I guess.
How do you fall asleep while getting your brain scanned?
I don't. Apparently that happens, though, when they're in the, like, CRT scans? I don't know. CAT scans. That's what, CAT scans. When they're in those things and they're just doing the loud noises, apparently a lot of people find that soothing and fall asleep. I personally would get claustrophobic and then probably freak out.
Yeah, same.
So, lucid dreaming, apparently you haven't had any, so I'm going to share my story of lucid dreaming.
Awesome.
I've had a few instances, and I'm going to tell you one of them. Do you know what Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends is?
Yes! Freaking Blue!
Yes.
And yes.
So, basically, I was having a dream where I was in that house with all these imaginary friends, all the monsters and stuff. And I was just dreaming, and suddenly there's this phone call, and I was like, okay, I'll pick that up. I'm probably supposed to do that. I pick it up, and there's like, you're dreaming, instantly goes out. And I'm just like, dude, what the hell?
Are you serious?
But I start looking around, and I'm just like, I am dreaming, okay, so there's this...
Oh, that's...
I'll go into this later, but there's a whole subreddit about it, and these people are trying to figure out...
Who called you?
So, I have no idea. And apparently this happens, and it was an old guy's voice, and apparently this happens as well. There's always this old man. The old hag, it's a conspiracy. They want you to know so they can scare you. No, but basically, once as I realized that, I started looking at the clocks, and when you're dreaming, clocks don't work. They were bending and stuff, and I was just like, what the heck? And suddenly, all of the creatures in the room look at me, and there's like, you don't belong. It's like they sense it.
Ugh.
So I run into the bathroom, because apparently I know where the bathroom is in this imaginary mansion. But they're all just like ramming on the door. It's like, you don't belong here. And they're just like chanting it. And I start splashing myself with the water. I'm like, this isn't working. I'm in a dream. So, and eventually I just blink my eyes tons of times until I wake up, and I'm just like, dude, what the hell? Dude, but think about that. Your own mind is like, okay, you don't fit in this own reality that your own mind has come up with. I'm going to have all of these creatures attack you.
That sounds like you have a lot more going on than lucid dreams, to be honest. You have like some bad relationship with that show.
No, that was like years ago. That was like 5 years ago probably.
Dang, but that's terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I think the scariest dream I ever had was like my brain. I had just seen an ad for like this really stupid, like really typical horror movie trailer where it's like, the world went to an apocalypse, and now everyone's fighting each other, and the government is It's like if The Thinning was like
The Thinning
was like even more stereotypical than it already was, and instead of and then my brain went like, I can make a more stereotypical movie than that. So then I dreamed I was in, like, literally the most basic, stupid horror movie, but
your brain just went into Bollywood mode?
It didn't even go Bollywood, it just went, like, C-list movie terror, and it was, like, trying to take itself seriously, and it's like, there are these super mosquitoes, and anything that they touch, that if it's organic matter, it instantly dies, and it's the most painful thing you can feel. And the only way you can stay away from them is in airtight places and underwater. And it was like a movie trailer. It was this like, whole thing. Yeah, I don't know, but it's like sometimes the stuff I see in real life ends up in my dreams, but like twisted. Yeah,
so what dreams are, from what I gathered, is basically your mind trying to like detox and, well, I don't even know, that's not really the word, but it compiles everything. It compiles everything that you did in that day or in like weeks and tries to push it into scenarios that you can kind of understand to, one, remember knowledge, and then two, also just kind of like compile that situation, so if it happens again, your mind's just like, I know how to do this, so that you're spending less work on it, because it's just like, it's a computer, it wants to be proficient, so it's like, okay, now if this happens again, I already know what to do, so you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So also every single face in your dreams is taken from people you've seen, even if they're just people on the streets, because your mind actually can't come up with faces, which is the reason why if you lose a loved one or anything like that and you don't have pictures, the face is the first thing you forget.
Yeah.
It's so weird to me, because, like, looking at faces, you're just like, how could I ever forget that face? And then, like...
I can, like, recognize people, but if I, like, try to think right now, I can't get a good image of, like, even what my dad looks like.
Yeah. It's weird, right? Stuff.
It's like, you know the face, but I couldn't, like, draw it, you know? It's actually kind of scary.
It is really weird. Anyway, going back to lucid dreaming.
Yes.
So there's this whole subreddit based around it, and there's methods of trying to get yourself to lucid dream. One thing is reality check, and I'm just going to show you it, like, the people listening can't see it, but basically what you do is you take one hand, and then your other hand, like, finger, and you just, like, tell yourself in your brain, like, as hard as you can, you're just like, my finger is going to go through this hand, and then you just do it, and then in your dream, it'll actually go through, and you're just like, oh, I'm dreaming. So basically... lucid dreaming, everyone wants to do it because it's like you can fly. People use it to rehearse, like talking to large crowds to get over their anxiety with it. But it actually works.
Yeah, because your brain is still doing it.
I couldn't find any specific instances, but I've heard it so many times in school that some people have come up with mathematical equations and stuff in their sleep, and they just wake up and they're just like, dude, I know what I'm doing. Like, your brain you figured it out while you're lucid dreaming.
Oh, see, my problem is that I never realize that I'm dreaming in the first place. I can never take control because I'm just so there and along for the ride. There was one time... like even when something completely out of the question happens, like one time I had a dream that I was having like dinner with a bunch of people that I look up to and admire, and I literally didn't even like realize I was doing, like, you'd think it's like all these people that I've never met before are all in my house eating spaghetti. You'd think like, this is a dream come true, but I didn't.
It was a dream.
It was a dream. I woke up happy, and then I realized that'll probably never happen. Then I was like, oh.
Yeah, so basically, the whole hand thing is called a reality check. You've seen Inception, right?
No.
Okay, they use a top in that film. And,
and people are like,
the thing is,
fall over?
Well, yeah, there's a whole thing though. Actually, he has a ring.
Does that actually
has
work?
a ring whenever he's dreaming, I think. And so in the last scene, he doesn't have the ring on, so obviously it wasn't a dream.
Oh,
but
cool.
those actually work. So some people use coins and very specific things and then not go to sleep with them, or different weird things. I don't really know. So reality checks basically, because then when you're in the dream, you'll just do it because you automatically do it every once in a while just to check, and then it's like, oh, I am dreaming. And then there's also keeping a dream diary journal thing so that you can actually remember dreams, because remembering dreams helps you to remember future dreams.
Yeah, sometimes I always write down the nightmares that I have, because those are the ones that I actually remember. They're always horror movie situations, which is weird because I don't watch horror films ever, but it's like, hey, what if zombies, but they're super deformed, and everyone and all the survivors are in a mega mall. And I was like, that's kind of neat.
Yeah.
and then like just like a thing with like ears on its nose. It was like on the door. And then everyone was like, oh no, it's a zombie. Ah.
Almost all of my dreams are actually horror themed as well. It's weird. Yeah. Also, other people in lucid dreaming have had the same problem where everyone in their dream wants to kill them, which is the same thing with imaginary foster.
I hate that.
And it's just like, somebody was just like, can I just make them my friends? Why do they want to hurt me? But another thing with lucid dreaming is they'll actually talk to whatever monster or creature is following them, because if you realize you're lucid dreaming, you can talk to it.
Yeah.
And then because it's your mind compiling this, it tries to make sense of why it's happening. And there's like, oh yeah, I'm doing this because you had anxiety during this one event, and this is a metaphor for that. And they'll actually talk to these monsters.
That's wild.
All right, so, and then here's the 4 levels. 1 is just knowing that you're dreaming, which is lucid dreaming at its core. Yeah. 2 is being able to actually control your dream actions in a wake-like fashion, which basically means like you actually realize what's going on and you can actually control it instead of just being like, I'm in a dream. And many people, once they realize they're in a dream, will wake up out of excitement because they're just like, dude, I can do whatever I want. And it's just like, now you wake up. Got him.
That's happened to me. It's sad.
3rd one is actually being able to manipulate your dreams surroundings.
That's the cool one.
So part of this, and I've been reading the Lucid Dream subreddit. Like, I know you're not on Reddit much anymore.
Yeah.
But it's got some cool stuff. This one guy, I'll tell you 2 instances.
Sure.
Well, actually 3, I guess, but I'll tell 2 right now. One of them, the guy told his dream, show me a music genre that doesn't exist. And he got one. Like, he doesn't even know how to explain it because obviously it's in the dream, but he was saying it was heavily it had a lot of drums, I guess, in it, but he couldn't really describe it, but it's just so weird that you can do that.
Is he a musician?
I have no idea. Maybe that's just what he was thinking about, because that would be awesome.
If I asked my brain, show me a music genre that doesn't exist, it'd probably give me, like, lo-fi emo ska, and then it'd be just, like, half the notes are cut out, the music, and then there's just, like, a really slow, like, jink, 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 and then it's like, I'm depressed. I should make that.
And then somebody else walked through a mirror in this opposite dimension where he said, so basically, I guess he's somehow friends with his imaginary boys, his lucid dream surroundings. Because, like, everyone in my lucid dreams just wants to kill me instantly. Like, they're just like, oh, you don't belong no more. We're going to beat on that bathroom door till you open up, boy.
You should have just made the bathroom door extra thick.
I wasn't thinking about that. I was in level 1. I knew I was dreaming, but I still didn't think I had control. So, but basically he was in this opposite dimension where everything just wasn't right. Like, everything was just kind of confused about him being there, and, like, clocks were going opposite directions, and just everything was weird. That's so cool, though.
Wait, so we went to Australia? Shout out to the Amazing. I don't know if you know who that is. It's a Australian storytime animator who, like, is basically, like, I don't know. He's, like, the only responsible guy at conventions. He, like, do you remember, sorry, this is going off topic, but you know how at VidCon US 2018, how the animator panels line was, like, 1,500 people?
Yeah, there was a ton of people, and, like, some animators weren't even able to get in. So.
Yeah, he was the guy who organized it so that they could actually get people through. So, like, yeah. Shout out to him, only responsible animator.
Nice. Alright, one other lucid dream I had was I kind of realized it, and I didn't wake up, and I was like, I think I was like level 2, I guess. Mm-hmm. So I could kind of fly, but it's basically what your mind is telling you, so if you really think, I can't fly even though this is a dream, because that's not how then you can't fly. So...
That'd be really frustrating.
Yeah, so basically what I was doing is I was like semi-flight gliding, like I would jump off something, and I was like more of a glide, just going down like Minecraft glider.
So like the Elytra?
Yeah, basically. And it was before that came out, so it wasn't like my mind was going to
Were
that.
Were you in Minecraft? Are you dreaming that you were in Minecraft? This is a dream come true.
I can build my own reality.
You have a PSVR, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, is Minecraft on there?
I don't think so.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, but anyway, that was like basically it. I couldn't fly. I was just like semi-gliding. It was kind of pathetic, to be honest. There's actually a book by Gail M. Delancey called "Falling, Flying, and Other Dream Themes: A New Kind of Dream Dictionary."
Oh, that's cool.
Apparently it was made in 1997, but
so it's not new.
No, but I guess like the mind probably works similarly.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of cool that somebody was actually able to write and, like, help you go through how to actually, like, fly in your dreams. Because that's something that everyone wants to do. Because what's cooler than flying? Like...
Flying faster!
Flying better!
No, it makes us strong. Man, that was... Oh, no.
So, this other weird thing is called... astral projection, I think it's called.
Oh, that's the out-of-body one.
Yeah, so basically what it is it's the same thing as lucid dreaming, except you do an action, like, though I was watching tons of, like, hippie YouTube videos about it, and there was like, before this, I did not think it was real, but now I believe. But anyway, they tell you to imagine that there's this rope right in front of you, and you just continually grab for it to try to pull yourself out of your body, but you can't move at all. And basically what happens is you just fall asleep while thinking about this so heavily that once as you fall asleep, you actually do it.
Oh.
And then because your dream's just like you're believing in whatever you think is going to happen, it actually happens. So, basically, yeah, that was suppressed coughing.
I'm dying.
But anyway, so, like, these people will go through these weird things where they can, like, see their body and they just fly away into this astral plane of weird purple elephants and stuff like that.
Dang, like that, like the astral plane in Black Panther, kinda?
Yeah, that's what they talk about. It's just these weird dimensions, and they're just, like, they're talking about how it's, like, this godly experience and stuff, and I'm thinking it's more just a lucid dream that they've controlled their like,
Oh, like that's what they constructed because that's what they were expecting.
They've kind of like forged their memory almost to just like think that that's what's going to happen, so that is what happens because that's how your brain works during sleep.
Yeah. My old jiu-jitsu teacher had a couple of those where he just like went to random fields in the middle of nowhere and just kind of hung out. Yeah.
That would be so relaxed. Okay, so I had this idea for a book.
Sure.
And people will probably steal it now that I'm saying it because it's actually great and could probably end up very good. But
if anyone watches,
it's true.
No shade, but
no one's gonna watch this far through either.
It's the first podcast.
It's true. Probably the last two.
Traction.
But I had this idea for a book, and it'd be like dystopian, semi-dystopian in the future, and it'd be like Ready Player One times almost. And the new big thing is something called the LU device. And it would be the lucid device, so LU device. Yeah. And it would be this like watch that you would wear, and it would like it would kind of just react with you, and it would like follow your sleep patterns and stuff to actually control you into knowing when you're sleeping and stuff, and then it would actually allow you to lucid dream. And through this, it would connect you to other people's minds, and you would be able to multiplayer lucid dream.
Oh.
And it would be this big old thing because, sure, VR, but like in VR, you can't smell, you can't actually feel what's going on,
So
and you're
it's
not
like-
there. Like, dreaming is like you're there.
Sword Art Onward.
Well, sort of.
I'm
And then,
joking.
so these select members would be selected to like test it. So,
Yeah.
you know, obviously the main character would get it, and then you get a few to like send to friends and stuff so that they could just get this large fan base and have people that actually knew each other to start playing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, they just start playing it. You can download your own like multiplayer things. You could just do whatever. They start coming up with their own game modes where it's just like you play like soccer or whatever, but it's on the walls and upside down. And you can like fly and it's in between dimensions or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
But eventually, and this is like the huge thing of the book here, they released something called the Nightmare Patch, and basically it's like this. It's released on Halloween. They're all like daring each other to do it because it's like it literally feeds off of your fears using your own mind.
Oh, that's malware.
Yeah,
For your brain.
basically. But basically, it just like it starts messing with them a little bit. It starts out as it's like they're in this huge mansion and they just have to find these keys, and then major plot twist here. They don't wake up afterward, even though they think they do, and then they start seeing these weird eyes and stuff peering at them and all kinds of weird stuff.
So they all like go into comas.
Yeah, basically, and then they end up having to fight their way out through their own fears, and it's like
dude,
all
that
this
sounds
trippy
like-
stuff. Because you can do anything if it's in a dream dimension.
That's true. That sounds like some real like classical science fiction stuff. That's
Like that, I feel like that could actually get popular if I actually had.
Just write it.
If I was actually inspired or motivated to do anything.
You're doing this podcast. You can write a book.
Same thing.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Write a book. Talking to a mic for over a half hour. Same difference.
Yeah. So, I think we're nearing the end of this.
Sure.
This thing here. So we're gonna play a game. Oh, do you have a fact about yourself yet?
I've been really focused on
Yeah.
this conversation.
I love dreams, dude. It's just so weird like
Yeah.
that. You're it's just crazy to me that your mind is literally putting you into this like situation scenario that you don't even know that your brain is doing to yourself. It's like so weird. It's like this one person somehow, and I don't know if this is fiction or not, Quinn was talking about it. This guy somehow
Mutual friend
separated
of ours.
his brain into two parts, and he would like, in one side of the brain, he would pretend to go over here and like hide something, and then the other brain literally couldn't find it. Like, it wouldn't remember where it is, and it would go through the same spot. Like, both of his brains were, like, literally separated.
Oh, that's... Oh,
I don't know if that was, like, if he's talking about a book or movie, or if it was an actual thing that they somehow did that. I feel like that's not possible, because you know how your right brain controls your left side, and your...
Right.
So if they were separated, they wouldn't be coordinated, so I feel like that's
true.
impossible. But it's like you can cut your tongue in half and then control both halves, so why not with the brain?
Why would you cut your tongue in half? Who did this?
You know people have, too.
I bet that's someone's special feeling.
That's their kink.
Yeah, that's
I like cutting tongues in half.
No, they're just like, you know, my name's Jared, I'm 35, and I just like it when people have two tongues.
It's just like a Dr. Phil episode. My son, he just cut his tongue in half and he ain't the same.
He's like...
He likes picking up his phone with his tongue.
Oh no.
Or as he calls it, Gerald.
He's just like, I want to be a frog when I grow up.
Yeah. Alright, we're gonna play the word association game, where you basically try to come up with whatever like word
I just
comes
say
to your
what
brain.
comes to my mind as soon as you say it.
I tried doing this one time when we were doing like a fake podcast thing. I can't do it. So I don't know. I don't know how people can, but
Okay, I'm just gonna relax and we're gonna go for it.
pickle.
Rick.
Got him.
That's not even like fake. That's just...
Of course it is.
The internet has ruined me. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
Next word.
Night.
Terrors. Because we're talking about it. Yeah.
I would say day, I think.
Oh, okay.
Just because it's night and day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yellow.
Blue.
Aren't those, isn't that a color palette? Like they're the opposite. No, it's yellow and purple.
It's yellow and orange.
Yellow and orange.
Yeah. I know this because I'm an artist.
Well,
So,
I think...
are those the only words you have?
Yeah, I was only going to go through a few words per person.
Oh, okay. So this is just the thing you do.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
It's just one of the random games.
I'm sorry that mine are so boring.
No, it's
Yellow.
completely fine.
Blue.
I mean, like, what would I expect you to say with yellow?
Well, yellow, it represents
Yellow,
pee.
depression.
Because one time I was in this class and I peed myself, and here's a long story about how kinky and weird and
Whoa.
stuff it all was. It was super-
Stop. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah. I don't expect huge stories behind them, but if I get them, I'll take them.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for coming, and thanks to you for listening, because I don't know who the heck would actually listen through this whole thing. I know I wouldn't. Feel free to follow the podcast on SoundCloud and also subscribe on YouTube. Share with your friends if you think it's interesting. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff coming up. The next episode, I don't remember what it is. It might be the end of the world. It might be all kinds of stuff we got planned. So yeah.
Do you want me to say anything at the end here?
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd be happy to do more of these in the future. So,
Nice.
if you ever want me back, you know where to find me. Somewhere on the internet.
Yes,
crying.
this is MashUpArt. He is our guest star, our guest caster today.
Yay.
And it'll probably be different like every week, or we might have some recurring guests. And sometimes it'll probably be me because I don't have any friends. Just kidding, but
you have me.
Well, see you in the next one.
Bye, everyone.